Welcome to smcready.org. In the next few minutes, we'll give you several ways that you can prepare and protect yourself and those around you in case of a disaster here in San Mateo County. We start with Lee Bach from the Foster City Fire Department. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Jennifer.
Okay, you're going to walk us through the very number one first step for planning for an emergency, right?
Yes.
Where do we start?
Well, the best and easiest place to start is with a communication plan. That's the type of plan that you would put together where you would be able to contact people outside your community. These are the people who are important to you, people who really mean a lot in your life, your family members, even your boss, your coworkers, and your best friends.
Okay, when you say communication plan, I think that's technical, it's difficult, and it's a lot of hard work.
No, not at all. It's just a matter of putting together some names and phone numbers, maybe some email addresses, some text message addresses, just a means to be able to communicate to these people and let them know that something's happened and that you're okay.
The same list that you would have if you have a baby.
Exactly.
It's the list of people to call when something really important happens to you. You put together the list, what do you do with it?
Oh, that's a really good question. Very simple. The best thing to do is once you make the list, give it to someone that you know and trust who lives outside the area. For instance, I have a sister who lives in San Antonio, Texas, and she has a list of all my contact people, my in-laws, my coworkers, my friends, my children's teachers, everybody who is involved in my life. So when disaster does strike, I can contact my sister in Texas, and then she in turn.
Right, so you make one phone call.
Exactly.
That's the important part here. You make one call out, and then she contacts everyone else.
Right.
So you're not jamming up the phone lines and you're not dealing with crowded phone lines or maybe no phone service.
Oh, exactly. And she can give to these people the information that they need to know that I'm okay and also where they can reach me.
Okay, that is so important. Every time we have a disaster, you hear about, I've been trying to find my father. I haven't heard from him in 3 days. This is the way to take care of that.
Yes.
Okay, and we're talking about communication and phones, and I see that we have a couple phones on the table.
Well, your standard cell phone, you may not be able to use it during a disaster. Your best bet may be a pay phone or even a traditional phone, a corded one that's plugged into the wall.
And I heard that that's important because when you have those cordless phones like everybody has nowadays, that they take battery power or they take electricity,
Right.
And electricity is one of the first things to go.
Yes, in a disaster that definitely can happen. And so the regular standard phone, the traditional phone, does not rely on electrical current. It's just plugged into the wall.
Okay, so your electricity might be down, phone line still might be working. That might be your safe bet.
That and also text messaging. Surprisingly enough, you may be able to get a text message out where you wouldn't be able to speak on the telephone, but you definitely can text message people.
Oh, great idea. Okay. We've talked about then like our relationships. So we make sure that we are able to get in touch with the people who need to hear from us.
Yes.
We've dealt with the phones. What do we do about our identity, about all the things that make up kind of who we are?
That's critical. That's very important information. What you need to do well before a disaster occurs, you need to make photocopies of all your important documents. They could be your social security card, driver's license, credit cards, the deed to your house, your passport, birth certificates, marriage certificates, adoption certificates.
As you rattle on this list, all I can think of is if all of those burned up in a fire or were destroyed in a hurricane, the time, effort, and energy it would take me or any of us to get those back, that alone is a disaster to me.
Oh, that's very true.
That is so smart. So once you've made copies of all of that and assembled it, and we have a disc here because I know you could actually do this on a disc nowadays.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
your whole home inventory right on a disc.
Yes, you can take these documents and scan them into the computer and download them to a disk. You can also, if you're not computer savvy, you can also take the regular documents, make photocopies, and then send them to someone outside the area, someone that you know and trust.
Okay, so you put all these documents together and they go to that same person who's got your phone list.
Yes, the contact person.
And if you don't have someone like that in your life, what can you do?
Well, you can always use a safety deposit box. That's a
Just
safe bet.
somewhere safe.
Exactly.
Okay, and we talked about now these documents, but I mentioned this home inventory, and that kind of leads us into our next idea is that you have all these valuables in your home. How do you account for those?
Oh, this actually can be quite fun and simple to do.
Fun.
All you need,
Okay, I like
all
that.
you need is a piece of paper and a pen, a camera, or a video camera.
Okay, so you can take a home video camera
Right.
just go room to room and shoot everything that's in there with your video camera.
Yes, and while you're doing it, it's a
Very
good idea
smart.
to give a commentary. Like, for instance, if there's a valuable piece of furniture or some artwork, something like that, document it as such so people know that that particular item does have value and also its importance in your life.
Read off make, model, serial numbers into
Yes.
the camera. And if you don't have a video camera, a digital camera, or even one of those just disposable point and shoots works just fine, right?
Right, just some means to record the information. And even the good old piece of paper and pencil would work just fine.
I know, I have to admit, that's how mine is stored. We have, this is an example of a computerized spreadsheet of that. I'm still with the pencil.
Yes.
And, but that's okay. All right, and again, you want to store this with that same person or in the safe deposit box?
Right, your contact person who has your communication plan, your document plan, and also your home inventory plan. That would be with the person, your contact person outside the area, someone you know and trust, or also, like you say, in a safety deposit box.
Lee, I know that you've seen several disasters firsthand. How important is this kind of preparation?
Oh, it's unbelievably important. It really is. And I have seen personal tragedies where people have lost everything they've owned. And it's to say the word disaster doesn't come close for what people experience. And if they only had, and that's one thing people have said to me so many times, I lost my, I wish I had, oh no, I didn't make copies. And once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, take your documents, spend, like you said, the half hour or the hour. Do this now. It could save you just countless hours of grief.
Oh, yes.
If a disaster strikes. And you don't even say if, you say when.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a matter of time.
Right. Okay, thank you so much, Lee. I've learned so much here today, and this is just the first step in being totally prepared if or when a disaster strikes.
Yes.
Thank you.